You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. We have Steven, Joe, Ryan, and Breanna to discuss a wide variety of football news around the NFL. Now, there's been two quarterbacks who set themselves above everybody else this season. We're going to talk about Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson. Steve, let's start with you. Who's your MVP this season, and who's breaking out from everybody else?
Both incredible years so far. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson from the Ravens. He's going to try and be a Heisman winner and an MVP within 3 years, which is unheard of. You look at his numbers on the year, 2,000 passing yards, 702 rushing yards. He's going for the 1,000 marker. 15 passing touchdowns for a guy that really isn't looked at as a passer, 5 interceptions and 6 rushing touchdowns. The guy he's changed the entire Ravens organization. He's really changed the landscape of the NFL. Not many teams are able to
scheme against him.
Scheme against him, yes, thank you. You look at the Patriots, best defense in the league, they got torched by him.
It looked like they got exposed, but we're no
right.
Death Star fans over here.
Yeah, I know. But Lamar Jackson, he's having an insane season. I know Russell Wilson's having a good year, but I think Lamar he has that unstoppable factor. I think Russell Wilson could be slowed, Lamar can.
Joe, what you got?
I agree, Steve, especially what you talked about with the fact that they've really kind of rejuvenated the entire offense, changed the identity of the team. And on top of that, I mean, 2 games with the perfect passer rating. And also, you have to keep in mind that both these teams, both the Bengals and the Seahawks, they both played the Bengals. And what did Lamar Jackson do against the Bengals? Absolutely unbelievable, unstoppable. He was on the bench in the 4th quarter. That's how great he was.
With
didn't even have to play.
With sunglasses.
Didn't even have to play the whole game. Oh, and their 2 teams played against each other. And what happened?
What happened, Joe?
What happened? The Seahawks lost, actually. Lamar Jackson led the Ravens to a 30-16 victory.
See, now we're very pro Lamar Jackson on this side of the desk. Ryan, who you got?
I got Russell Wilson, and let's take a look at his stats on the year, shall we? So he has the best passer rating in the league, first of all. He's got almost 3,000 passing yards, over 25 passing touchdowns, 250 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. The only interception he had in the past few weeks was in overtime against the Niners this week.
He also threw a pick 6 to Marcus Peters in the game they
played. Just let me talk. Okay, so I think that Wilson overall is a better contributor to the team in terms of the fact that he's a better passer than Lamar Jackson is, and also that those 2 games with the perfect passer rating, they came against the Dolphins and the Bengals, the 2 best college teams in the NFL.
The Seahawks almost lost to the Bengals.
That is true.
Dalton put up over 400
Yeah, he did put up over 400.
21-20. It's
a close game. Breanna, what you got?
Well, Ryan, great minds think alike. Mine's going to be Russell Wilson again. Lamar Jackson, he's new, he's fun, everybody's looking at him, but mine's is Russell Wilson. Yep. He's killing it. He's having a great season. Only 2 interceptions for the season. Also, he's playing against bigger and better teams. Lamar Jackson has not played against these level of towns. And they took out the 49ers to stop their winning streak.
The Patriots?
Yeah, the Patriots.
I mean,
Lamar torched them.
That's tough.
Usually I'm
that's one team.
Lamar had Ingram to bail him out in that game.
Wow.
Chris Carson's better than Mark Ingram.
And the #1 receiver on the Ravens, a rookie?
Marquise Brown, who's missed a couple games. Tyler Lockett's literally playing out of his mind this season. I know he got hurt. I think Russell Wilson has more around him. And again, he's having a great year, but Lamar doesn't have much more around him, and he's putting up just as good numbers, maybe even better. And that rushing factor, he's literally unstoppable. He's changing the NFL.
Yeah, you guys getting a little spicy.
Wait, he's changing the NFL. Wasn't Russell Wilson doing this before Lamar Jackson?
There we go.
I mean, we were talking about his rushing before Lamar Jackson's.
Well, we never really thought of Russell Wilson as a pure rushing quarterback.
Because he's a double threat.
So Lamar Jackson is as well.
I wouldn't give him that.
Guys,
let's
insane season from both guys.
Yes,
but
they're both very
Lamar.
good. Let's all relax.
We'll
let's
keep
all relax.
moving around.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, he's in the NFC and it's stacked. There's no college teams in the NFC as there are in the AFC. Joe, we'll start with you. Who do you think is the best team in the NFC so far?
Well, I got to go with the New Orleans Saints. The fact that they went 5-1 with Bridgewater under center instead of Breeze, and they were able to beat the tough Bears defense without Kamara or Breeze. Now they get Breeze back and Kamara back. And on top of that, yes, again, the struggle against the Falcons last Sunday is not exactly what you want, but I think going forward, the experience, and I mean, you can't guard Mike. Michael Thomas, unbelievable season. Insane. I love the defense. I'm looking forward to them making the Super Bowl.
Well, a little bold prediction right there, Joe. Let's stay rolling that. Breanna, what you got?
Mine's the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you got Russell Wilson having an outstanding season. Their defense is getting a little better, needs some work, but I think it's enough to get them to the playoffs.
Ryan, let's keep it with you.
I got the team that the Seahawks beat on Monday night, which is the 49ers still. They still have the best defense in the NFC, 14 points a game, 250 yards per game they're allowing, and they got run CMB, Coleman, Mostert, and Breanna, combining for 1,300 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. And Garoppolo is good when he needs to be, such as he was against Arizona. And also, unlike the Saints and Packers and teams like that, they don't have any rough losses. They just had the loss to the Seahawks, which they would have won if Chase McLaughlin, the kicker they picked up off the street, wouldn't have shanked that thing. I was so upset.
Yeah.
Steve, you're the last person. Who you got in the NFC?
Big culture change came to the Cheeseheads this offseason. Mike McCarthy got fired. Matt LaFleur steps in, and he's done an incredible job. He has single-handedly revived that offense. Aaron Rodgers, a sneaky MVP candidate. I know we didn't talk about him, but he's putting up great numbers. And he's got a defense, finally. He's got guys that they signed in the offseason, smart moves, Adrian Amos, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, yes, Samory, the Smith brothers.
They're not, no relation.
As we like to say.
No relation.
No. But I think Aaron Rodgers, against a team like the 49ers defense, I think that'd be a true test to both teams, but I'd give Rodgers the edge. And I think, honestly, they're my favorites to go to the Super Bowl right now.
Oh,
another hot take.
What's up with the Super Bowl?
Getting a little bit ahead of
down,
They're not
guys.
there.
A little bit.
So, Joe, quickly, which rookie has impressed you the most this season?
I got to go with the guy who was drafted first overall, Kyler Murray. I mean, if you look at his numbers, they just keep getting better. First month of the season, he had 4 interceptions. Since then, he's only had 1. He's done it with no real offensive line, barely had David Johnston. And, oh, yeah, he's in the toughest division in football with a rookie head coach. And his QBR is higher than Rodgers, Rivers, Goff, and tied with Brady. So, I mean, come on.
Oh, that's a big statement right there.
Yeah.
Ryan, who you got for your rookie?
I got the best rookie running back season since Adrian Peterson, Josh Jacobs. Let's take a look at his stats. Over 800 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 5 yards per carry, which is a tough task for a rookie to do. And also, he's averaging 4 yards after contact. That's 3rd in the league. And the Raiders haven't had a running back like this in years.
Yeah.
And, you know, he kind of bails out Carr, who's not who he was
Breanna,
4 years
who you
ago.
got?
Easy, Nick Bosa. You can make the argument he's better than his brother. I mean, 7 sacks, 20 tackles. He's just eating up quarterbacks left and right.
Steve, who you got?
I'm going to go receiver here. 5th receiver taken in the draft, Terry McLaurin. The guy is literally he's outplaying every receiver ahead of him. He's turned into a true number 1 on the Redskins, 500 receiving yards in the year, 5 touchdowns, 32 receptions, 15 yards per catch, and his longest touchdown went for 69 yards. The Redskins have been missing this number 1 for a long time. He's finally hit in the 3rd quarter. I was super high on him. Love the pick.
Big game this Sunday.
Yep.
Ravens versus the Texans. Steve, who you got?
I'm a Deshauniac this week. I love the Texans. Give me them in Baltimore.
Joe, who you got?
Marcus Peters shuts down Hopkins. Lamar runs free. Ravens win.
Ryan?
Last time Lamar played the Bengals, he beat a good team the next week. Same thing's going to happen here. Ravens.
Breanna?
Ravens. I mean, Texans doesn't have a defense to stand on.
Wow, that's no love for you, Steve. You're sitting there solo
You know
dolo.
what? That's okay.
You're the lone wolf
I
over
do
there.
appreciate the Deshauniac, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you after Sunday.
Well, that's all for this episode of WP Sports Desk. Join us next week with the return of the ice and a stay with the NFL crew. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SportsDeskWP. Thank you always for our crew and our studio manager, Clarke. For all of us at the desk, I'm Samory Rose, and we'll see you next week.